December 20th, 2024. Chevy truck van L460E, L4 through L480E, I think. I know this van, L480E, I've got this problem. And this is a remanufactured Jasper transmission. Resetting the transmission so that it will shift into third and overdrive and not have the rough shifts. Let me turn this off and I'll get it back. This is about two different videos, but I'm going to show you how I do a reset where this transmission will start shifting again where it wasn't shifting into third or overdrive. Okay, let's get right to this. If you've got a Chevrolet truck or van and your transmission is not shifting into third and or overdrive, and if it's shifting hard, this is what I do to reset this. Now this is a Jasper reman transmission, but I was having trouble with the original transmission beforehand too. And now this also, I learned this because of the security issue I had with the security light flashing, crank cut off, and I've got video showing you how to fix that. I eventually had to replace the computer. But what I'll do to fix this transmission shift is turn the switch on, leave it on usually about a minute, turn it off for 4 or 5 seconds, not too long, turn it back on for about a minute, turn it back off for 4 or 5 seconds, and then turn it on again for another minute, and then turn it back off again. And that will usually reset this transmission to where it'll shift smooth and also shift into overdrive. Now the history on this, I wanted to get to that because I get mouth dribble. I had problems with this thing, crank cut off, or start and cut off. And I dealt with it for about 8 years, and I learned to reset, where you would turn the switch on, leave it on. At that, to reset that, I had to leave it on for about 5 minutes, maybe even 10, and do that 3 times. And then that would reset the computer, and then the engine would crank and run. The security light would quit flashing. But in the meantime, in that process, I was also having trouble with the transmission, doing just what we were talking about, shifting, not shifting into third and having a hard shift. And so that reset would do the same thing for the transmission. Now, just disconnecting the battery reset for a minute will not solve either one of those. You've got to do this switch turn on and turn off. If you're having trouble with it turning start and cut off, you've got to do that with that switch. But you usually have to do that for about at least 5 minutes. But let me turn this off and see what else I want to tell you about these. Okay, I now know what on this transmission, what tells me I'm about to have trouble with this thing shifting or not shifting into third or high gear or into overdrive, if I get a rough shift. If I start off normal, it'll shift about 12 miles an hour, then about 25 miles an hour, then about 38 miles an hour into high, and then about 50 into overdrive. If I start off quick, it'll shift maybe around 20, a little over 20, around 38 into second, and then about 50 into third, and then into overdrive. But if I'm getting a hard shift coming from first to second, and then to second to third, that's usually a dead indicator that this thing is about to quit shifting into third and overdrive. And I have even had the trouble with it, coming back up to a stop and it not downshifting. And it'll, get to chugging, and you got to stick it in neutral to keep it from chugging the engine out. But that also fixed that. So again, hopefully this will help you guys. I have had all kind of problems with this thing, but it's got 350,000 miles on it. I did have a Jasper engine and transmission put in it at 300,000. I will never buy another Jasper engine and transmission. A couple of problems with that stuff. Rear main seal, 2 oil pan gaskets, things leaking, it's still leaking. And the problem, you think, well, you got a Jasper warranty, right? Jasper warranty is about worthless as dirt. Jasper has a certain amount they pay the shop per hour. Well, most of the shops charge more than, about $30, $40 more than the Jasper. So unless you get a shop that's willing to do it for Jasper's price, you're going to have to pay a big difference of $30 or $40 an hour. Plus, I've had this thing in the shop 2 or 3 different times for warranty for Jasper, and it sits out in the parking lot for 2 weeks before they get to it. So give me a break. What good is the warranty if the thing sits in the parking lot 2 weeks before it can get serviced, and then when it gets serviced, it doesn't get serviced correctly, and or you still have problems with it? You know, the Jasper warranty is worth nothing. But both this engine and transmission I've had problems with, and I will never buy another Jasper product. But let's see, is anything else? The main thing was this transmission shift. I had to reset this thing yesterday. It quit shifting into third, and so I had to pull over and do the reset. And I generally have to do this every couple of months. But hopefully that'll help you guys. I saw a lot of, I'm trying to buy a parts van, trying to find one. And I've seen a lot of vans advertised saying that the transmission won't shift into third. And maybe it'll help you. If that's some of y'all's cases, that reset that transmission. But like I say, just disconnecting the battery for a minute and reconnecting it will not do the security reset or the transmission reset. But I've got over 100 videos, auto repair videos on the channel, working on my Jeeps, working on this van, working on a friend's truck, restoring a Jaguar V12, and now working on restoring a El Camino that we drove into a pond. So y'all check out the channel, like and share. Check out all those repair videos. Check out my product review videos. I've got a lot of product review videos, so check those out as well, and let me know how you come out on your transmission shifting. I think it usually affects the L460E and through the L480E transmissions. Yeah, we're down here in Brunswick. We're going to be heading back to Athens this afternoon or tomorrow. We've got to meet a lady here in Brunswick to see if we're going to do a remodel on her, help her do a remodel on her house. Okay, this will wrap this one up.